y'all. Welcome back to the Relentless Love podcast. Obviously, we're missing a very special man. If you're not aware, because not all of our viewers are local, we lost my dear husband, my beloved husband, very suddenly, very unexpectedly last April 2025. And he just lit up every room, so definitely missing his presence right now. Sure, I won't make it through this episode without a few tears. But he will want me to keep going, so we will. And that's really the heart of this episode, is just to represent relentless love, because that's what it's about. Relentless love is more, or relentless. The word relentless means to be doggedly determined, to keep pushing, persevering through hard things. And that's who we are. That's who I am. That's who Brock was. That's what our marriage, that's what our story was all about. And so that's why it has to keep going. And so I have the honor of continuing that legacy, keeping the vision alive, keeping it moving forward. And I'm so excited that you decided to tune in, even though Mr. Jones is not here. He still lives very much in me, through my kids. And you'll hear all of those stories. So much he wanted to share that he didn't get to, and I'm committed to keeping even his thoughts and words alive. So I'm excited that through this platform, I'll still be able to do that. I have some writing projects coming up. Honestly, he was working on his first book not long before he passed, and so I'm gonna work on that. But I know many of you have so many questions. I'll answer a few here and possibly throughout the podcast this season. I don't even know what season it is. My son was trying to ask. Brock always kept up with that stuff. But nonetheless, I'm glad you are here. My goal is to keep the releases every Thursday, and then we'll take a break in the summer, get back in the fall, and then let y'all enjoy the holidays. So just to catch y'all up on me and the family and how we've been doing, obviously, because it was unexpected, I know some people will still have questions about what happened. Out of respect for Brock and my family, I won't go into too many details, but I know y'all have questions, and we're real, we're very raw with you guys, so I'll share as much as I can. But Brock was not sick. I know people ask that a lot. He had no major conditions. I thought it could have been heart failure of some kind, but it wasn't. And so I won't disclose what the actual results were. But what I will tell you is that every medical professional that I've talked to say that it doesn't make sense to them. One of my doctors actually said that she doesn't know how that was even possible, that it took whatever they claimed that it was, that it took his life. And so in a nutshell, I would say maybe 3 days before his passing, he was having trouble sleeping. He felt like he had heartburn, just nothing alarming that we would take him to the emergency room or even the doctor. I thought he was a little restless because we had a lot going on that particular week. We had been coaching, we had just done a training, and he was planning to actually preach the Sunday. It was Palm Sunday, so that was the Sunday after he passed. And so he was just up. I guess maybe he thought he just had a lot that the Lord was downloading to him, and so he would stay up, work on the message, watch Dragon Ball Z, which was just something that he loved. So we didn't think anything of it. But I told him, if he didn't get better by the next day, that we would go see about it. And unfortunately, he didn't make it. But what actually happened was he was picking up the girls, like the good father that he is. Actually, one of the girls, one was with him. He was picking up one from school, and he stopped at the Quick Trip right by the school, and he was tickling them 1 minute, playing with them. Even the police officer who was there said, I looked up, he was playing with his daughters. He admired that. The next minute he looked up, Brock had collapsed and was on the ground. And so, unfortunately, my girls being with him, was devastating, but I'm thankful that the memory they have is of their dad playing with them right before. And I think that's such a gift, and I pray that they don't remember the trauma. Even when they talk now, they talk more about the fact that he was engaging with them in that way, and it's so precious. I'm thankful he wasn't driving because I could have lost my daughters too, and so I try to focus on the good. That's just, if you know me, that's how I am. But ironically, that day, normally I work from home. I happened to meet a coworker for lunch. I was working for this nonprofit at the time and met her for lunch. We had some strategy to do. So I happened to be in Fort Worth. I picked up my son. And so we got the call about it as I'm picking up my son. A kind lady just happened to go check on my girls, and she got the phone and was able to call me. So obviously I was like driving as fast as I could to try to get there. He was still responsive when we got there, at least that's what they told us. But by the time they got to the hospital, they said there was nothing to do. So I'll be honest, I was angry at first. Like, what do you mean? He's 39 years old. There's nothing more you can do. I felt like there wasn't enough effort, but I felt God restrained me, saying, it's time. And if you know me and my faith, like, to believe that God can raise the dead is always there, but I felt God say, let him go. It's time. I was ready for him. And I will tell you that is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was to leave his side and go tell my kids that he was gone. And so I think of all the things I've had to do since then, that was the hardest. Calling his mom next was probably the second hardest. But telling my kids who were there, playing in that waiting room, and expecting everything to be okay, because I believed it was going to be okay, that was hard. But I'm thankful for how it's forged our relationship, my relationship with my kids. Our faith has been stretched, challenged, and grown through it. And man, so many stories of how people's lives have been impacted. I think my husband had no idea. I always saw it, people, could see that he was impactful, he was influential, but if not for his death, I don't think we would have seen just how impactful he was. And from the wake for those, shout out to everybody who came, everybody who brought a meal, everybody who prayed. And I'm sorry, I'm like a thank you card person. I send them, but I was just so overwhelmed for so long that I have yet to send cards. I have them completed, and I've just been so busy, so forgive me, but our hearts are truly still overflowing with gratitude for every call, every text, every mail, like everything, every gift card, an army of people who love us, who believe in us, who support us. I'm just so, so grateful for how they showed up. But Brock would have been blown away at the response. I mean, there was a line wrapped around the funeral home to come to the viewing, and most, not everybody does that. The actual funeral, it was standing room only. People were sitting in the waiting area. It was insane, and I think the last time we checked, it was over 1,000 views. So if you have not seen his celebration of life, I encourage you to watch it. I've heard so many people say it is the best experience they've ever had, and they've been to so many funerals, but it was, God got glory, 100%. The worship was amazing. Shout out to Ryan O'Fay. If you don't know who he is, you are missing out. He is so anointed. Both of my brothers who showed up played keys, just held it down. So grateful. I know Brock. Listen, can I just be real for a moment? To plan a worship experience for a worship leader and a musician is one of the most intimidating things. So I was so laser focused on making sure he would be pleased and be honored. And that is not anybody, his musicians know, his band knows. He did not play about excellence with honoring God and worship. And so I believe he would have been pleased. It was impeccable. The worship was impeccable. So shout out to everybody who made that happen. Y'all, it was on Good Friday too. We got to do his celebration of life on Good Friday. That's one of my favorite holidays, Good Friday, Easter, and even what it represents was so surreal that it's like him transitioning from life to eternal life, and then having that, picture of Jesus and what he did for us, like celebrating that same weekend was, I don't have words. And I think I'm thankful. It's little things like that maybe next episode I'll share. Just a good friend of mine, she calls it God kisses, or I've heard people say God winks. And that I know it was God's time, and he just reassured me with different things. But even that, like, it was the weekend he was supposed to preach. It was Easter weekend, and we got to send him off like so beautifully. It was just amazing. So anyway, if you haven't seen it, check it out. So many people from our journey sharing about how Brock impacted their life, from Transform Us movement, a Saint music, like things he did in the community. It was amazing. Hear my son share with such courage and boldness. I know I was absolutely proud, but I know Brock will be even prouder. And so that's what keeps us going, y'all. I mean, his life, the legacy he left, the foundation he laid for me and my kids, that's really what Relentless Love is all about. So just a few things that you can expect. Because Brock is not with me and I have to carry on, I need to make things simple. So I'm actually bringing my life coaching, my business coaching, all under the same umbrella of Relentless Love. So it's essentially Relentless Love in life, because we need that relentless mindset in everything that we do, not just in marriage. So a lot of what I'll share through the podcast will be for singles, for just individuals, also for couples. So anything, if you're going through grief, if you just going through hardship in general, a lot of what I'm going to share applies to all of that. Being a small business owner and the challenges that brings, all of it. Those are some of the topics. And I want to hear from y'all, seriously. Message me, text. I'll have our number on there, the business line, so you can always text questions, topics. I need some ideas, some inspiration, y'all. So definitely share that. And I think once a month we were doing a series on parenting. So we're probably still going to share that, because now I'm learning how to be a single parent, y'all. Definitely was not in the plan, but I'm grateful for God's grace to do it. So thank y'all for tuning in. There's so much more, a lot of great things that I'm learning, that I'm experiencing, rediscovering who I am. As now a widow, I struggle even with that word, but man, have I seen how much God loves the widow and the orphan, the fatherless. He is so near to us, and he fights for us. And man, I just can't wait to share all the amazing ways God has been moving, the things he's been doing, the things he's been saying. So if you want more of that, definitely tune in every Thursday. And also I have a community, the Relentless community is launching soon. If it's not already live, bear with me, y'all, because, I got to keep all the plates spinning and balls in the air. But if it's not already live, it will be very soon. Relentless community. Again, it is for singles. It's for married couples, whoever just wants some of that relentless tenacity that God has deposited in me and Brock. I'm going to be on there sharing. I wanted to share, my phone just went dead. Got to keep it real. But it's funny, Isaiah 61 came to mind recently, and I shared it with my kids. I was reading from the Passion Translation, so I encourage you to go check it out. But that was kind of like a life verse for me and Brock. And for years, we would read it, we would stand on it, recite it, but it never dawned on me that so much of those verses talks about mourning, talks about grief, talks about comforting people in the midst of their loss and hardship and broken hearts. And so it hit really differently when I read it this time, and just reminded the kids, this is who we are. And so I wanted to end with that, but I can't read it. But God, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me, and He's anointed relentless love to really comfort those who are going through hardship, who are brokenhearted, who seem to have lost hope. That's really what relentless love and life is all about. And so thank you again for tuning in. Thank you for praying for me. The next few months are probably going to be the hardest as we count down to April. So I appreciate it. But know that we got to keep it moving. Brock would say, run with the vision. He would sing it. I can't sing it like him. But got to keep running with the vision, y'all. So this is Relentless Love Podcast. We are back and better than ever. And as long as God gets glory, I'm going to keep doing it. So thank y'all for supporting us, and I can't wait to hear from you.